Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
It's
hey,
Chris
how
and
you
Guy here
doing?
again, and we have a special guest today, like we have the past few weeks. And today we are blessed to be able to get Malachi with NFT Culture on with us. So,
Hey, Mal, how you doing?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
We're doing very well, man. We're glad to have you here today.
Hell yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's nice being on this side for once.
yeah, man, just
Ye-
you can be more casual, just hang out, answer the questions as they come. You don't have to worry about like schedule or structure or anything like that. We'll take care of that.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I do have to say earlier, sir, about the spaces. Like I kind of had a whole bunch of technical difficulties. I'm glad I was able to fix it by the time we did the live right now. But yeah, so again, sorry about that earlier.
Nah, man. Hey, technical difficulties happen. It was a fun space. I'm excited that we're doing this though.
Yeah, man. So the point of this is that people are actually able to see what we're talking about. We brought up a lot of stuff earlier that we'll get into later, but you actually minted something while on stream. We talked about Ninjalerts trending, all that fun stuff. But during the Twitter Spaces, unless people are like searching it the whole time, they don't really have a visual of what we're talking about. So that's kind of the point of this. Real quick, I do want to go over the script real quick. This is brought to you by Ninjalerts. This show it's produced by Ninjalerts. It's a desktop app and mobile app that notifies you when the hottest projects are minting, when the most anticipated reveals are happening, and when whales and influencers are making moves. To get Ninja Alerts, you can go to Ninjalerts with 1a.com to buy a lifetime NFT, then join the Discord to download the app. So thank you, Ninja Alerts. Thank you, Trevor, for allowing us to have guests on here like Malachi. Yeah, man, I
Yes.
really enjoyed the space today. First off, we went over this on space, but just one more time, if you just wanted to talk about yourself or NFT culture, just kind of like as an introduction, maybe what got you into NFTs, what got you into creating your own project or your own YouTube account.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll give a little bit more detail. But what's really interesting is that I was like a year or two too young to really take advantage of the .com boom. And then I was too naive to take advantage of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And one of my good friends, Rob, obviously a partner of the show and NFT Culture, got in early on Bitcoin. And so, once we saw him being successful with that, we started looking at NFTs and lightning doesn't strike in a bottle twice. And so when you think about kind of that happening. We once we understood digital ownership and what NFTs represented more than art, more than collectibles, more than anything, it just made sense. And once that happened, we just went all in. We bought a website called cryptoarthype.com and realized NFTs are more than art. And within an hour, we looked up and saw that NFTculture.com was available, and then just started going hard. Um, and so that we launched basically January 2020 for the project, and then in March, everything was starting to go a little bit crazy. We reached out to Mark Cuban, and he answered our questions, and that was like very affirmational. And
Heck yeah.
then, we just kept running, rocking, and rolling, and it's been a crazy year, and just really enjoying the ride.
Sweet, man. That's incredible.
Oh,
Especially that you were able to reach out to Mark Cuban and he responded to everything. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that was like for him to, and we didn't do a video with him, but we sent him some very detailed questions, and he answered all of them. And
Wow.
like the fact that he'd give us that much time, and allow us to like feature him on the website and those types of things, it was like, okay, like this is, and you start listening to him, you listen to others, and then Gary Vee and others starting to really kind of get it. It was a no brainer, to just hop all in.
oh,
Sweet.
cool, cool. Yeah, so we just wanted to start off with some basic NFT questions. Like, do you, in your honest opinion, do you think we're currently in a bear market right now? Because a few things are mooning, but then a lot of things are dead. Like, do you think we're in a bear market?
It's tough because the bear markets are, they're relative. And so when you think about, I put that tweet up this morning about, a year ago, we were all really, really happy when OpenSea had like $6 million in daily volume. It was like, oh wow, like it's never going to get bigger than this. Like this is the craziest thing ever. And then, yesterday there was like 60 million of OpenSea daily volume. So like we're off the tops, definitely of where we were, a month ago, 3 weeks ago. So you could objectively argue that we're in a bear, but when you look at it, if once again, if you take a short lens, like yeah, things look bad. But if you take a wider lens, widen that aperture, things start looking really good. I think that, and I can go into a couple reasons why I think there's issues with the market, if you guys want. But I think we're in a short term downturn. I also think that downturns like this are healthy because people are getting smarter.
Oh, good answer. Good. So I'm just rambling on with different questions because I did miss the space earlier. Sorry again, sorry about
Dude,
that.
no
I just wanted to know, when did you get into the Bored Apes? Did you mint any, or did you get in like much later?
I got into Bored Apes like the day after.
Really?
Yeah, like right, maybe 2 days later. I bought my Bored Apes at point 0.2 Ethereum, and it was one of those things like I saw it and I was like, "This is dope! Like this is awesome." It looked so different. Like we were in like we were still in like crazy NFT phase where everything looked or felt like trash art, or it was like a 3D model with like a bald head, like all these things. And so I saw it and it resonated with me. And so I bought two Bored Apes for point 0.2 ETH, and my wife had told me, "Hey, keep both of them. You like them, whatever." And then it went like the next day to point 0.5, and then I sold one of them, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm free rolling." That was my strategy at the time. So then it fell back down to like point 0.3, and I was like, "Yes, I beat the system, haha!" Like I got this. And I kept saying to my wife, like, "Should I sell it? Should I sell it?" She's like, "No, you like it. Who cares? You got it for free." And then I just kept it, and it's silly. I never thought at the time like, "Hey, maybe this thing keeps going up." I would. It was kind of the pre-alpha phase for me where people are buying projects and really trying to arbitrage and take advantage of the market, and so I just held my one and never looked back, and I'm thankful that I have. But you look at the ups and downs of the market, I could have definitely taken more advantage, but hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, but still, you got it at point 0.2 though. So yeah, you're winning big time right about now.
Hell yeah.
So the biggest news going on in the NFT space right now is about the KYC by the Bored Apes. I'm kind of out of the loop on the specific details of why they're asking for KYC. And are you more familiar with that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really interesting. I wrote a little blog post about it this morning because I don't have a problem with KYC. Some people in the crypto space do, and I respect their opinions. But for the most part, especially in the United States, like KYC is coming to us whether we're in crypto or not. Like whether you're buying and selling tickets on Ticketmaster, you're going to be getting a 1099. You're going to have to KYC this year. So it's agnostic of crypto. But if you want to trade in the United States, you want to profit, you want to do these things, KYC is coming, right, wrong, or indifferent. So my issue wasn't so much that it's KYC; it's that it's with Animoca Labs, and I don't have a problem with that. But the issue is it was a vague tweet. Something's coming. It's tedious to go through the know your customer KYC process, and we don't know what we're signing up for. So does everybody that does KYC, let's say 100,000 people do it, do all 100,000 people get something? What happens to the people that don't? Well, it's not fair to the people to say, "Hey, you have to trust us and give us every intimate detail of your identity without knowing what you're going to get," and then reward people that are willing to gamble on that side and punish those that are less excited about volunteering that information. And the reasons to not volunteer that information, there's a million reasons. One is privacy. Two is security. If that website or where that information is stored, in a very Web 2 identity theft way a lot of things can happen, and just not knowing what you're signing up for isn't fair. So my problem with it is that, the FOMO and the FUD of all the Ape projects. We saw it with the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, which very similarly sucked liquidity out of the market for like 3 weeks. Everyone called that the top. Pack was also doing a drop at that time, but there was a lot of movement and the market cooled off for a period of time after that. So I don't have a problem with it, but I want to know why I have to KYC before, or what's in it for me before I go down that path.
Okay. Chris, you just pulled this up.
You're muted.
You're muted, Chris.
My bad. I was just gonna give some reference of like what we're talking about, and it does look like that. Even like the Bored Ape Yacht Club themselves doesn't necessarily like this, but this is the tweet that they said. This has been building over the last 7 months, and Market Brands, which is what Mal mentioned, will launch the first phase, and there's more to come. P.S. We don't like KYC either, but we think you're going to want to be a part of this. So it's kind of like it's a promise of some sort. We just don't know to like what capacity yet.
Yeah, and they've already said that it's not the coin. They've already said that it's not the P2E game. So, Animoca is really good with land. So is there going to be a part of Decentraland Sandbox, or is there going to be a new metaverse that is exclusive to apes, or something else that's going to be built? That's a common guess. The one of the main theories here is that, once Ape Coin launches, and we talked about this on the space, is that, the Yuga Labs is a trailblazer, right? The foundation they're setting now is precedent for all future projects. So they want to get it right. They want to make sure that they're doing everything from a regulation standpoint, SEC standpoint correctly. And I respect that. So when you think about, is this not ApeCoin, but is it like the step to ApeCoin? Because if you think about, hey, by the way, to get ApeCoin, you have to KYC. And then, the whole world isn't KYC yet, but they all want ApeCoin. Well, you're going to break every system trying to go through the process and verify. I remember for a while, like Binance and Kraken, to do KYC, it would take like 3 or 4 weeks to go through that process. So if we believe that the ApeCoin is going to come in the first quarter, which we're running out of time, this may be the first step in that. But it's weird for them to say this isn't that. So is it land? Is it a marketplace where they start to sell stuff on there, and in exchange for selling something you get ApeCoin? I don't know, but it's really interesting. Like I said, I just wish they'd told us more about it.
Yeah, when I heard about it, I initially thought it was because of the ape tokens, because these top NFT brands they have a lot of legal, a lot of lawyers on their side, a lot of lawyers with retainers just to distribute these tokens. That's why it's been taking so long. I know the Gutter Cat gang are doing the same thing. They have about like 6 or 7 lawyers on retainer. So I'm guessing. I when I first heard the news, I was guessing that, yeah, it's because of the ape tokens, because they're doing it more legitly. Unlike the smaller NFTs that just throw out tokens. In a little while, all those are gonna go to zero pretty much, because there's gonna be a lot of legal issues with these tokens in the future. Do you believe there will be legal issues with tokens that are being distributed right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not all of them, but I think like there's definitely, unless the SEC changes a lot of kind of what constitutes a currency, or shoot, my brain's not working right now. A security.
Security?
Yeah, like when you think about kind of what constitutes that, and the fungibility of everything, like there's definitely some projects that are going to be scrutinized, and there's going to be winners and losers. And that's part of the reason I just think it's so important that Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga Labs get this right.
So you believe this is going to be the new norm moving forward? Different NFT projects are going to start KYCing after Bored Ape does the KYC.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't think every. It depends if they're going to launch some sort of token, right? Like I think for instance, the NFT culture token. is just a token. You have it, you get access to the private channels, you get access to, ask us questions, talk to the community, and those types of things. There isn't a piece of it that's trying to be a fungible or a security, right? And so, like, from that standpoint, it's fine. But there's these, the other tokens that have like a govern, like Crypto Raiders is a great example. I think they're doing it right. But Crypto Raiders is a game, but they also, like, the characters are NFTs, but then the ERC20 tokens, they're actually not. They might be ERC20 tokens. I'm not sure actually, but Orem and Raider, they're governance and in-game tokens and utility tokens. So, like, there's definitely a way to do it correctly. I just think that Bored Ape Yacht Club has to take their time, because there is so much scrutiny. There is so much wealth already associated with that, that if they have a misstep, it's going to be embarrassing for the entire NFT community.
Would you say that, like, this is kind of like the XRP of NFTs, like, as far as like
XRPs?
No.
That's not what, I don't mean that as far as the situation goes. I mean that as far as, like, they need to win for everybody else to win. That's what I meant, to rephrase that.
Yeah, and I think they've got enough capital to do it right. They probably have the smartest economics, tokenomics, historians, like everyone on staff, making sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they're working directly with the government to make sure that they're maybe not the IRS, but they probably reached out. They've probably reached out proactively to the SEC. Maybe they haven't, but I would think that this is one of those things that if you look at the valuation that they're rumored to have and everything else that's coming into this, it's going to launch as probably a top 50 token, right? Like, on launch. And then you think about everything else that comes with it. Like, and you think about, like, poop coins and meme coins like Shiba, like, they're like this, it is way different. And there's just going to be that next layer of scrutiny. So I'm excited for it. I hope it comes sooner than later. I also think, like, that's going to drive a lot of, that'll probably enter the next phase of kind of NFTs. I think there's probably some money on the sidelines because people thought it's imminent. I think there's a lot of people that want to buy the Ape Coin, just the coin. Like, they don't want to go buy a Mutant or a Bored Ape Yacht Club. They want to get in, right? And so if you think that it's going to happen in the next 20 days, why would you gamble on some of these projects? I don't know.
All right. So, go ahead, Chris.
You got it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, we just wanted to. There was some big rumors coming out about MeBits. Now, are you familiar with that? Apes buying MeBits, or what? What's going on?
Like, I was talking about this earlier. Like, first principles thinking, it's why, right? Why wouldn't the apes just go, like, create a pixelated version of something instead of buying it? So I don't know I don't know. Like, I wish I knew. I wish I bought a MeBit a couple days ago. I think that I think there's a lot of rumors that the team is going to buy MeBits, and the more I think about it, it still doesn't make sense. But there's also other parts about it where you think about the community aspect of what there's speculation between what Larva Labs was doing. Did they not realize how big NFTs were going to get? Like, when they created CryptoPunks, it was a cool side project, that changed everything. Then they launched MeBits. Now there's all these expectations. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of that lens. And when you think about, an organization, basically, maybe Larva Labs doesn't want to take that next step. Maybe the project outgrew them in terms of the scope that they want to be at. And then when you start thinking about it from that lens, it starts making a lot of sense. Some of the other rumors that I've been seeing are electronic arts, which is like if you look at Sims and those types of things, MeBits would be a compelling play that gives a AAA studio immediate credibility. I've heard decent rumors that Microsoft is going to be the buyer. It doesn't make sense from that standpoint. Like I don't think so. But then you start thinking about like some of the compelling cases are if Microsoft were to make Minecraft their metaverse. Like what if you enabled Minecraft as a metaverse and start selling plots or whatever. And now MeBits are these voxel characters that could easily go in there. Like that's a very, very, very compelling case. Is it just theory crafting? I don't know. The rumor that keeps getting brought up is the Larva Labs rumor. So you have to, at some point you have to give it credibility. And to be honest, there's a few people that I trust very very much in the space, and they're saying it's Larva Labs, or excuse me, Yuga Labs, with basically 100% certainty. I'm not saying that, but it's an interesting take. We might know here pretty quick.
So, like, how does that actually work? If all the tokens are decentralized, do they just buy a big chunk of it, or do they go the Web 2 route of actually taking it over somehow?
I mean, they could do it a few different ways. Pudgy Penguins, when they changed ownership, some of the other projects, they would actually have a burn mint process where you'd have a window where you'd burn, basically, you'd through Etherscan connect and transfer your previous NFT to a new contract, right? And that new contract would be owned by the rights holder of that generation. So if if one of you, for instance, took over NFT Culture, like you could create a new contract, and then if I wanted to be on your paper, I would interact with that, sign it, and then burn my token, remint the same character. That is a possibility. It could be something as simple as, hey, let's keep the same contract, but a Web 2 way where they get a percentage of secondary sales. The opportunities are endless in terms of how they could go about deploying it.
And do you think it'll be, if Yuga Labs are gonna buy it, how's that gonna look for the apes? Like, how would you feel if they do, if it is true? Would you be excited, or would you not be?
I mean, the other thing that's really interesting is that they might be buying more than the MeBits. They
Really?
may be buying the rights to the MeBits and the CryptoPunks. And if that's
They buy the
true,
punks?
yeah. If you're gonna, basically Larva Labs would keep a small percentage. They'd keep glyphs. They'd keep kind of what they're doing. But basically, Yuga Labs would then be the proprietor of the two most historic projects in the NFT space.
That's a big deal. If they get punks, that's a huge deal.
I haven't heard that yet. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, if it goes back to what the hypothesis is, right? And if you have the hypothesis that, if MeBits is hypothetically for sale, and Larva Labs doesn't make money on the CryptoPunks, right? Unless you're making more than 100 grand, right? Like you sell it on their market. Ouch.
Dang.
And
Anthony.
that's yeah, and I mean, someone's been buying these things like crazy for a while. But then you think about like what would it look like if this did happen? Like that would be good. That would be healthy for the community, because now we'd all be one community under the same roof, under the same umbrella. And I think that would be really, really cool. But it doesn't make sense, for instance, for Larva Labs to sell MeBits and not punks. That's the interesting thing, because like, for instance, like future airdrops, you have to own a punk and a MeBit, and then if there are different ownerships, like there's just a lot of interesting stuff there.
That's fair. I had it on. I lost it, but I had it on the Ninjalerts trending MeBits actually did get under most bought, but it looked like one person grabbed like 8 of them in the last 6 hours.
Yeah,
But I
Kenny.
lost it. Kenny. But for some reason I lost it.
So Mal, before you ape into a project, what are the three most? I ask every guest this. What is the three most important things you look at? Do you look at the community, the team, or what are or the art? Like, what do you use to evaluate a new project before you ape in?
Yeah, typically it starts with the art and the community. You know, and I'm not aping into too much, to be candid these days. I watch projects closely, and if I see an opportunity for something that's incredibly interesting, I go in. Cyber Brokers was one of them that I really liked. Josie's awesome. But I kind of have, you know, a formula that we build, and it's like you look at the size of the project, you look at the mint price, you look at the max number of mints, you look at, you know, whitelists, prescribed, and then you look at the health of their Twitter and Discord, the distribution. So there are 100,000 Discord members and 10,000 Twitter. Some of that's off. So you can kind of guess like the health of the community, and then you start saying, okay, what's the current price of ETH, gas, less of a deal with ERC 721A. So now I say, okay, is the contract on ERC 721A or not? And then you start looking at the roadmap, originality, and you give some weighted distribution. And then I actually have a simple formula to say, you know, odds that it mints out. And from there, then it's like, okay, do I think it's going to mint out? If yes, you know, what do I do? Um, but then you also look at like the things that are going on right now that I hate, like whitelist mining. Like there's so many things that just are making me, like, if I go into a Discord and I have to gain 12 levels over, you know, 3 days to get whitelist, I'm out. Like, it's just not worth it for me. There's going to be another project. There's going to be another thing to focus on. So for me right now, it's like I'm really focusing on art, and I'm really focusing on really, really high quality projects and, you know, hidden gems, which is why I love Ninjalerts, because you can find a lot of those stealth drops. You can find hidden gems from wallets that you trust, and get in there and find value.
Oh, cool. So we're gonna run through Ninja Alerts now to just try to evaluate any project that you might be interested in. Now, I heard you bought something earlier today, right? Is that the moon?
Yeah, I
Where's
bought
it
on the
at? I don't see it.
secondary on this moon.
Right here, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I did
got
want
it.
to say real quick, I had my mic muted, but I'm digging and love like the kind of like, I'm not saying you're part of this, but like the anti whitelist movement right now from
I'm
traders.
part of it.
Yeah, I am too. It's just getting ridiculous, man. I joined a Discord last week, and it was like, you need to get to level 15, which is already ridiculous if you've ever tried to do that, just to be able to invite 15 people, just so you will have a chance to get noticed. Like you need that many layers. And it was a very like average project, you know, just like, I don't know. I've seen some people that I respect tweet things like, basically whitelist need to start paying me to like advertise their product because we're doing all the groundwork and marketing for the projects. But yeah, I love that. Anyways, you did mint. We were talking about it. You minted it while we were on the space, or you bought while we are on the space. This Moonlink NFT. You did say that you kind of aped in more than you usually do. But would you just want to like kind of look at this project real quick and like, if you were seeing this project for the first time, kind of go through your thoughts behind like the whatever you want to like highlight?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you know, it was a blind ape. Like there's, and I do this sometimes. Like I only do a couple of these probably a month. But like when you see people like PO, when you see people like you know, Rarity Sniper, and some of the others start looking at some of these projects, you say, okay, like I trust them, they know what they're doing. For me personally, there's actually, if I'm being completely honest and transparent, there's actually more red flags for this project than I would normally.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Than I would normally go into. So, for instance, if you look at their Twitter, you know, there's only 4,500 people on that Twitter. So, like, let's just take, once again, let's take the analysis piece out of this, right? So let's say there's on average let's say that um, 30% of Twitter followers are going to buy a project, right? 30% of Twitter followers have a MetaMask wallet. They've got the ETH. They've got the time zone. They've got all these things, right? So
Mhm.
let's call it a quarter of it. There'd be maybe 1,200 sales. So everyone buys two, right? That puts us at about 2,500. That's a quarter sellout for this project. So then, is the Discord exponentially higher? Is the roadmap particularly unique? They're gonna acquire and stake the meta heroes from Pixel Vault. They're gonna be doing liquidity. They're gonna be doing those types of things. So I think like they've got an interesting dynamic. It's unique. But what this tells me, based on the numbers that I see, is that there's fewer wallets and a lot of holders within those wallets. And typically, I want to see 60 to 80% distribution of
60 to
projects.
80%.
Typically,
That's pretty high.
it is, and there's not many projects like that, but that's kind of like where my mindset likes to go. I mean, like for instance, like even with cyber brokers, it's still less than 50%. But I suspect that that's like on day one launch, if you can get to that 35-40%, you're feeling better.
Yeah.
This is probably in reality, and this is the other thing, like the dirty secret no one talks about, is like not only how many can you mint on one wallet, but how many wallets do you have? Like I have a lot of wallets, and like when for instance the tennis the Australian Open happened, like a lot of people found out that like it didn't check the NFT, it checked if that NFT was in your wallet. So basically you could or if the meta key was in your wallet. So if you had a meta key, you could buy one, transfer the meta key to another wallet, buy another Australian Open, transfer it. So very quickly, you've got 10 wallets that have this NFT. So we're seeing this as well with whitelist farming, where if the whitelist is somewhat easy, it's very easy to download, create 10 discords, all have them in different tabs, and have bots running on each of them that are faking engagement to get you your whitelists. And so you could have now let's say only 5% of these people are power users. Well, that knocks down this distribution 10, 15 points, and a little aggressive. But so yeah, like, and I'm not trying to FUD this project because I bought one, and I wouldn't have bought one if I didn't want it to be successful. But it just, I don't want to be talking out of both sides of my mouth saying like, hey, here are my principles, and I just bought this on a whim.
It's being bought right now. Like the volume is pretty decent. Like, I mean, as we're speaking, when we started this, it already went up like 0.01, like a little bit. I don't know. I mean, you can see the sales right here, but the volume's pretty decent right now.
Yeah, and to be honest, this is one of those that like I look at the type of wallets that are buying it, and I see an arbitrage opportunity where if it goes to like 0.16, I'll probably just double my money and get out, and not look back, right? Because it's not. I don't have enough time to spend joining another community, like going into those types of things. So, if you see these quick arbitrage or quick flip periods, that's typically what I do if I see those types of movements.
So, as you know, in Ninja Alerts, you could track wallets. What wallets do you track that make you FOMO without doing any research at all? Like with this exact project right here.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a big fan of SniperBot. I'm a big fan of following PO. Some of the guys, Nifty Nick. Um, there's a couple that I'm not going to say their names, but I try to find. There's probably 10 wallets that I have that I keep a very close eye on what they're doing. And they're typically buyers and holders. So for me, if I want to quick flip a project, there's certain wallets that I follow. if there's people that I think either know something or they've got the inside track, they're not celebrities, but they have high success rates. I follow some of them as well, and then try and wallet peep and match them. And so like it's kind of like you don't always want to, and that's why I like Ninjalerts, because I can see the top traders, I can see the influencers, I can see the celebrities, but I can also add the wallets that I want to add, and they're like micro influencers, right? But they're really good at picking projects, and so um, those are the ones that I like to take a look at, and that's kind of my current strategy. But sometimes I'll mix it up and go go on a whim and follow Sniper Bot and Tommy Kimmelman.
Sniper Bot went pretty hard on this project. I mean,
Yeah.
I would.
So did Tommy. If you looked back
do the
further,
12-hour.
Tommy K. Yeah.
I'll do the 12-hour.
So do you generally go with the 12 hours, 6 hours, or 1 hour? What's your go-to?
It depends. Like when I'm sitting here, when I keep it up as my feed, I'll keep it at 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I want to see the action. Like if you go to 30 minutes, like, all right, MeBits, Kenny's going hard on right now, right? For whatever reason, someone's going crazy on Indifferent Duck. So like it's kind of like, okay, is there has something happened and the news not made it out yet, right? Are there projects I didn't know about from from the most minted pile? Those are really interesting, especially like when the contract isn't even announced yet, where it's literally just the name of the contract. So that's my typical strategy. But then I'll start looking back and take a more macro lens to look at, okay, who else has been going in on this project recently to get an understanding of kind of where it might be headed.
So on average, how long do you stay in the project? Do you stay for a week? Do you exit out in a month? Or like what's usual for you?
I used to, they used to call me paper hands because I'd paper hand everything. But I said this earlier, is that like if you can realize gains, like who cares what people call you? Like if it's life-changing money and you have the opportunity to do better in real life, like who cares what anyone else says? And like would you rather have 50% of something or 100% of nothing? You don't know where anything is going to go or what's going to happen next. And so for a long time, my strategy was definitely like I would take not a 10x. I would take like a 10% profit, which like in the real world, like if you made 10% profit on a stock, you'd be like, hell yeah. Like that's a big deal. But in NFTs, you're like, no, like that I want the 100x. And so
yes.
I think that's not healthy. And so for me, I'm in a position now, I've been lucky on some trades that like I probably hold on to certain projects too long. And so it is definitely that healthy mix where I think, long term, fewer projects, but find like the really, really great projects that you like, because there's going to be generations of blue chips that are coming from this. And, it's going to be like if there's, let's say in reality, there's 1 million people in NFTs today, which I think is very, very small. It's like 1/300th of the United States. But if we look at the rest of the world, like there's going to be so many more people coming into this space. There has to be other awesome, massive projects with great upside. And so for me, it's if I can stay net even, like doing flips like the one I just mentioned, so that on the next flip I buy 2 of them, and now I flip, I free roll. Now I have my money back from the first one, and I have a free NFT. And if that thing moons, well then now I'm really happy.
Yeah, that's great advice. Completely makes sense.
Kenny's still going, man. He just bought 2 more
of the
MeBits.
MeBits.
Yeah.
MeBits.
Crazy. Yeah, do you want to would you like to look at another project and just kind of like again go like a quick evaluation of like what you would look for?
Yeah, sure. Pick a random one.
I almost thought about that duck thing, but let's see what looks fun. Let me know. Gutter, you can point out something too if you want.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
You can't choose gutter juice.
Oh yeah, did you Mal, did you get into gutter juice or did you skip on that one?
No, I mean, I've been on vacation, so like
Oh,
and that's
that's
the
right.
other
That's
thing
right.
is like, it's really, really hard. Like people don't like my best piece of advice that I can offer on this topic is like, if you miss like 3 days, like don't look back. Like just you're not going to catch up. Like the vernacular's changed. Everything feels weird, and like you're on another planet. Just look forward. You know, I use a bus analogy all the time. Like if you miss a bus, you don't chase after it forever, right? You wait for the next bus and you get on that one. So like if you miss projects because you take time off, just tomorrow there's going to be 20 more projects. Like don't look back.
Let's see what it looks like. Pranksy is buying some of these raid party fighters, so we can take a look at that.
Yeah,
Like,
Raid Party is a unique project in that there was a lot of gamification that went on ahead of the launch. I know quite a bit about this. This is one of those projects that I knew was gonna like make money, but I just was impatient to go through the work to like get the whitelist, to get the access, to do those types of things. Um, but they did things incredibly well. The website was polished from the get go. There was a healthy community. If you were to go and look at, for instance, Raid Party's Discord, um, or not Raid Party's Discord, but if you were to go look at, the Raid Party Twitter, they've got over 107,000 Twitter subscribers. Like it's a healthy project. The fighters look great. It's great art. The animations there. Like this is just one of those projects that, and I mean to be fair, this is one of the most polished projects that I've seen to date.
Really?
In NFTs, in my opinion, yeah. So I do think that this project has massive upside.
at first when I clicked on it, I thought like I just breezed over it. I thought it said 0.05, and I was like, "Dang, this is a lot of really good feedback for a project that has a 0.05 buy-in price." But then I saw it's 0.5,
Yeah,
which I mean it looks really cool.
Yeah,
So
at
this is
launch
your
though, it had a lot of issues, didn't it? From what I can remember,
yeah, it
because I
did.
passed on it.
It did.
so
Do you
you are
remember what
familiar with this
those issues were?
project,
Oh.
but
Yes.
if you weren't, what would you be looking at? You said
Um.
that
Yeah. So for me, like, okay, there's the red. There's how about I say like the things that I look at to avoid.
red
I think
flags.
that
Yeah.
that's probably easier.
Okay, here. If you want to
Is
do that, we could go back to the duck project.
Yeah, I'll just share. I'll just share what I view as my red flags,
Sure.
and we can talk through it if you want to pull the Duck project up,
Yeah.
um, or any project that's. Or is there a project minting right now?
Yeah, there's Cool Life NFT.
Yeah, let's pull this up. All right, so what if I were looking at this? Okay, so do I love this art? Not really. It looks like a copy pasta website. So like I'm not trying to disrespect this project. I haven't seen this before. This is just my initial reaction. If it's a great project and a great team, and we find out that you're doxed below, I'll apologize. But so I look at it and I say, okay, cool. Like why Cool Life? That's okay. It's got traits. That's interesting. Like cool. And then I start looking at the roadmap. The roadmap is just once again copy pasta.
Yeah.
And they're saying they're going to donate 15 ETH to the world. WWF, Greenpeace. Okay, is that 15 ETH to each? Is it 5 ETH? It's a red flag. A community wallet. That's these are things that aren't like strong. Going back to kind of my analysis before. Okay, so roadmap 2. Okay, a token, life token. Okay, I bet there's already a life token that exists. So this is probably a rug. And then I go down and I start looking at the team and I say, "Yep, like that's not going to happen." And I just,
It's like,
like
it's
for
not gonna
me, it's
I
not
hear
happen.
for
you.
me. you know, Mateo R. So then if we go and try and check out Mateo,
It went
okay.
straight back to this. What? Okay.
So,
got him.
Dude, all of them go back to the website.
Yeah. So it's a big nope.
This is so misleading because even these, they seem like they're going to be like clickable. I'm like, oh, maybe these are like some of the team. I try to click it and it won't let me click it. And then if I click the founder, it redirects me back to the same website.
And so now we go through just a couple more things to say, okay, was I wrong? Now we go all the way back up to the top and we check the Twitter.
What is the?
Yeah, there we go. Nah.
I said nah.
Hey, Gutter just
nah.
Gutter, you're an advocate that followers don't matter. So justify
well,
this.
for founders and devs don't need followers.
Okay,
but the project itself is something totally different. So if you're making a decision based on the team members, then I wouldn't count, a high follower count. I wouldn't take that into account.
100% agree with everything you just said. And the other thing is, like, if the founders were doxxed and we could prove that they were doxxed on the website and they only had 400 people, it's like, okay, they launched too early. But is it a great project? Is it great art? Does it tell a story? Does it have community? Does it have a good roadmap? So I'm fine compromising one or two or three of those in certain instances. If I love the art and it's a doxed team and they're new to Web3 and they haven't done a good job at promoting themselves, I might buy it just to support them and come into the Discord and be an early, evangelist for the project. But if we go back to the website, it's no roadmap, suspicious roadmap, like broken, not even broken links, like fake everything. And then
I've never seen that, man.
I've seen it.
Really? Where the team redirects you to the same website?
Yeah, they use the hashtag or the pound symbol just to redirect back to the home site.
Man.
Yeah, so we do have. Go ahead.
Like, is the logic in that, like, oh, maybe somebody will just hover and not click, that way they think it's going to redirect them? Like,
here's the thing: is like, if you could spin out 100 of these a day, and you could make 3 ETH each from people who are FOMOing in because it's on tools like Ninjalerts, because there's people that are rich enough, they're gonna hey, this is minting, let's go speculate, let's mint some of them.
Also, like, I wonder who minted it. I didn't really look earlier, but let's see, was it an hour, 6 hours? I don't even remember.
I think it was an hour.
I don't even see it now. We roasted it off the board. People said, screw that.
Yeah.
So we do have a question from Jason. For artists that are coming into the space, as an investor, would you invest in a Solana or a Polygon network NFT? Or would you just skip those altogether?
It's funny. Too Perfect just popped in here and said GM. Too Perfect is not only a community manager, but he's also a part of the team and helping us build kind of the second generation of what's going to come for our token. He's actually more bullish on Solana and the other blockchains than I am. I'm a bit of an Ethereum maxi, except for NFT gaming. I think NFT games on Polygon, like Crypto Raiders, are fantastic.
Yes.
I've bought in 1 or 2 NFTs on Solana, but the fact that the network goes down and things fall apart just isn't enough for me. I also think that, like, if you're an artist, you should be minting on Ethereum, because there is kind of that we've seen it over and over that, like, the NFTs that are minted on Polygon just haven't done well historically. Tezos is a great option for artists if they want to mint, in my opinion. But with 721A, and some of the stuff that is actually happening, we helped Noob Punks launch there's it was Noobs and now Noob Punks. It's a generative project, but Mike, our developer, did the 721A contract based on what Azuki did, and on Ethereum layer 1, people were able to mint 50 NFTs for $47 when gas was over 100 Gwei. So the efficiency now of 721A contracts and the ability to mint on Ethereum is incredibly powerful. All that being said, if you're an artist, like there's like creating your own contract is hard. There's a lot of different things there to consider. But definitely, I think that I prefer Ethereum, especially now with 721A.
Okay, and we also have another question, as in, what's your biggest win recently? Your recent big win that you've had that you can remember?
I've been lucky. I haven't sold as much as I probably should be selling. I got on the Azuki whitelist, so I
Ooh.
actually got an Azuki for like 1.5. I sold it for 3, and then I FOMO'd back in at 5.5. And now
Mm.
it's one of the blues, so it's probably still worth 12 to 13. I'm also lucky enough to be part of the Red Bean DAO, a collective of collectors, 10 of us, who bought the second rarest Azuki. And spoiler, if you were to wallet peep, I would recommend that you go look at Red Bean DAO and look at those wallets, because those are the
Okay.
types of traders that I watch. And I'm lucky enough to be with them. I've also been lucky that I was able to mint 2 cyber brokers. I'm really lucky I got one of the top 50 cyber brokers at Mint. I'm tempted to sell that and realize some gains, because that could be life changing, for us. And then other than that, Wonder Pals was a fun project. I'm a big fan. I'm still holding Wonder Pals. Um, I got lucky and got a grifter in an auction. So like I've been really, really lucky. And that's the other thing, is like with luck, it's like, okay, you're people need to realize that your trading styles change, like depending on where you are in your NFT journey. If you get lucky in 100x or 10,000x on one project, well, now you can start doing a lot of different things. And so my recommendation is, like, most projects are going to go to 0. If you can realize those gains, and then if you realize enough gains, now you can start holding on to the next generation of blue chips. You can start looking at kind of what's next. That's always my recommendation. I'll also tell you the biggest, 2 of my biggest mistakes I've made recently is I thought Star Catchers was gonna just run. I bought 2
Mm.
Star Catchers for 1.1 ETH each before reveal,
Eesh.
because I thought it was going to follow that trend and go way up. And so I'm down pretty big on Star Catchers. I'm still
Yeah.
holding them, because why not at this point? I'm still rooting for that project. And my biggest miss is Doodles. I saw Doodles and it met everything I talked about before, everything I loved. Art was great, unique, everything. And I didn't mint. And then now, Doodles is one of the quintessential projects in the space.
I have a follow-up question to that and a comment to make. So I'm pretty sure it was your video. I usually, every time before we interview somebody, I like to go watch some random videos on the background. That was, I don't know if it might have been Nate's. Basically, they were saying like the beauty of the blockchain is that like our mistakes are there, for people to go see, but so are our wins. So it was a cool little comment. My question is, you've gotten into a lot of blue chip projects, obviously, like very early. You were talking about earlier, I don't know if this is on the space or here, but like as far as like Bored Ape Yacht Club, like you really just liked the art, you could feel that it was different, and that was one of your incentives. Those other projects that you named, did you just know going in that like this has great potential to be on like the blue chip project list? Or do you credit a lot of it to just luck, like you really like the art and then it just kind of took off from there? And maybe you can give an example of maybe both, and maybe you could give an example of both.
Yeah, I mean, Azuki was just the one of the most impressive functional deployments of a project that I had ever seen. Like, the website never went down; it was polished before people saw it for the first time. The art looked great; they had a compelling story. It met all of those. The team was doxed ish. So like that one was like, okay, I'm gonna ride this one, and I'm gonna see what happens. And I had the same vibe for Star Catchers. I was like, okay, I think that this is gonna be the same type of thing. And I was right once and I was wrong once. So even when you do have like that feeling, like it doesn't guarantee that it's going to be a success. But you know, it's train yourself to, and like, to be honest, you can go back and look at the video on NFT culture. Is like, I like, we were live on stream and someone was talking about Hate Beast, and like I didn't even know what Hate Beast was. I was heads down focusing on something, and I didn't follow my own policy. I googled Hate Beast. I saw a Hate Beast mint site was live, and it looked like there were 1,000 left in the public mint before it sold out. I paused. It didn't feel right. I'm live on stream with Rob. And then I say, you know what? This one's going to be the big one. I connect my wallet to it and I buy two of them for 0.3 ETH. So I send 0.6. I don't review, even looking at the MetaMask. And then I get taken for 0.6 ETH, like live on stream, because I didn't stick to my foundational elements. So it was an expensive lesson for me to learn live on stream, that like, you just have to have your core tenets. And I don't want to keep sending people back to NFTCulture.com. But you know, after that, I did write a blog called like 8 NFT rug red flags to avoid. And I say it over and over, but I just documented it, right? Is the team anonymous? Are there fake accounts, fake followers? Is it expensive or is it free? Is the art limited? Does it lack innovation? Is it a copy pasta website? Do you feel toxicity? And is it a derivative project, right? Those are my big red flags. And if any of that is there, I pause immediately and I say something's not right. If I still like it, it means I need to do twice as much research before I go in. Most of the time, I just move on to the next one. But even with the projects I do like, I try to go through that process. In projects like even Starcatchers and Azuki met all of the criteria that I had to be successful. One of them was, and one of them is TBD.
Okay. And we have a follow up question to the 720A protocol you mentioned earlier, and I guess let me try to read it right now. Does 728 kick gas prices down the road? Can new contracts easily call 728 NFT gas efficiently?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're entering a period now where like you can tell like when the time frame of a contract by like how much gas it costs on OpenSea to buy it on secondary, because like we've just been having this continuous process improvement, right? And so when you think about how much of unnecessary baggage is sucked out, like even if you go and look at, I bought an NFT this morning. Hold on real quick. I bought an NFT. Hold on. This morning, there's a piece of art by this lady that I'm a big fan of. I actually have a piece of her collection. Her name's Crystal Bashara, and she launched this project. And I was able to buy it on OpenSea, and the gas was like $6. So like when you think
Nice.
about, because it is this new era. Oh no, that was 1155. Sorry, I was wrong. You don't need to pull that one up. But like when the gas efficiency from 721A is so good that yeah, it's going to be passed on for all future projects. But it doesn't go back to any other projects, right? So unless Gwei's low, like for instance, the NFT culture token, because of some of the mechanics that we put into it, it's it's an expensive token because you have forging mechanics, you have burn mechanics, you have do one word. And so like our contract is expensive to buy and sell, which is unfortunate because if people want to buy it and you say, okay, it's 0.055 and I have to pay 0.03, 0.04 in gas, you're doubling the price. And so I really hope that 721A provides a lot of value for people in the future.
And NFT culture was made with 721A, or
No,
this was
it
before
was
721.
721. Yes. Zuki was the first project for 721A. And very quickly after that, most projects are adopting it because
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So we're hitting the hour mark. Chris, do you You want to wrap this up, or you have more questions? Do the audience have any more questions? I'm going through that
I have
right
like
now.
100 more questions for Mal, but he willingly said that he would join us for more in the future. So hopefully I can hold him off till then. Thank you so much for your time. Obviously, guys, if you're watching this and you enjoyed what you heard, go check out NFT Culture. Go check out their project, and it's all linked right here. Their YouTube channel, they've been making YouTube content
Join the
for a while.
Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord. Thank you for being here. I said it at the beginning, but I'll say it again. This wouldn't be possible without Ninjalerts. So thank you, Ninjalerts, for bringing these shows, allowing us on here. It's a app that we're all using right now for the trending to kind of see like which wallets are buying what. But also you can get smart notifications to your phone or to your computer if you hold a Ninjalerts pass. And we use it all the time. So we have great people, great guests on the show that also use it, that have plenty of experience in the field, and we're not sliding them any Ethereum under this interview to make them say this. Like, they use it, and we appreciate you guys for not only using it but taking your time out of your busy schedules to come hang out with myself and Gutter.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Mal.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye. Thanks everybody for watching.